What's good, guys? Sorry for the heated debate in the first down. I'm sure you that we're going to be as more civil this time around. Again, we got Tim, we got Dula, we got Kendra, we got Josh, we got Bells. Guys, take it away.
Whew. Fellas, the Washington Redskins, it wasn't that cold that game, but they lost against the Green Bay Packers. And now we know Kirk Cousin is a free agent. RG3 might get cut. If you guys was running the team as general managers, how would you work this out as far as would you keep Cousins? Would you look for another quarterback? Would you keep RG3? What would you guys do?
RG3 and his passive aggressive memo gotta go. They gotta go somewhere. I don't care where.
For me, I think RG3's been gone since the start of the year, so you can forget about him, pretend he doesn't exist. He's going to go somewhere else. Maybe he's going to go play in Land with your boys. Tim, by the way, at the break, did you throw like a steak on your eye? Man, looks healed up pretty good. You all right?
No. Yeah. It was it was some home ec remedies. Took care of it. I'm done.
That's good.
He was with Chandler Jones.
Robitussin, you just put some water in it, shake it up, put it on the eye. Just get inside the eye.
Oh, man.
No tussin.
Back to Cousins. Cousins, I want to say the numbers are something like 26 career starts, 11 and 15, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not one of those 11 wins is against a team with a winning record. That's telling. But at the same time, it's not easy to find a quarterback in this league. You have somebody that did just get you to the playoffs, albeit in a bad division, didn't blow anybody away, but you have an wide receiving core. You have, my opinion, if Rob Gronkowski wasn't alive, you have the best tight end on the planet on that team. And he has a good rapport with him. You have a good running game. I think this kid, Matt Jones, all you fantasy people out there, Matt Jones is somebody you want to take next year in your fantasy drafts. I think this kid's a stud. They have some players on offense. They're building a good line. They took Scherf in the first round last year. Defensively, their front seven's pretty good. Need a little work in the secondary. They're more of a now team, and to go ahead and try to start over at quarterback unless somehow, some way you can get your hands on a free agent that you think is going to be the guy. Maybe you get your hands on Kaepernick via a trade. Not that I think he's any good, but maybe they do. Otherwise, I just stick with Kirk Cousins. I don't think drafting a quarterback is the way to go. I think this team is too much of a now team rather than a team that's looking to be good in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. RG3 has been done. He's been wearing one of those Nike nightgown jackets on the sideline for 17 weeks straight. So, with Kirk Cousins, you definitely have to retain him. But like Bell said, it's a scary stat when you got 26 starts and not one win against a winning team. But at the same time, you really are closer to winning now than you are to the rebuild mode. So you really can't backpedal, especially when you just wasted a draft pick on a QB a couple seasons ago or a few seasons ago. You can't go that route. You got to retain him for cheap as possible. And then from there, like Bell said, you got to rebuild that safety and secondary. Borland and them are burnt toast. That's really not going to get you anywhere. And then from there, build up the O-line a little bit more. I think, I don't know how serviceable Morris is going to be anymore. I do like Matt Jones myself. I don't know if they're going to retain him, or I believe he's a free agent. I could be mistaken.
Got Chris Thompson, too. Don't forget Chris Thompson.
And especially with how Morrison's been struggling, I think they just let him go to the free agency market. And yeah, like Bill said, you got to retain Cousins and just see where it goes for a season or so, and then from there, if there is something to grab next year in free agency, possibly for a QB, big time, you can snag him.
What do you say, Dula?
Well, first, I think you got to move RG3. Whether that's in a trade, I don't know what his trade value is at this point.
Well,
I'd say it's pretty low.
60 mil if he was to get traded. 60 mil the other team got to take, so you can't trade him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to – I don't see how you can keep him on the roster any further at this point. Kirk Cousins scares me a lot, actually. I don't know if he is Ryan Fitzpatrick 2.0 or Matt Flynn 2.0. A guy, who played pretty well down the stretch, was one of the hottest quarterbacks in the last 8 weeks of the season. And, do you keep him? I would keep him. However, I would not give him a very long-term deal. I may give him a 2-year deal. Then I just want to see what happens. I think Jay Gruden prefers Kirk Cousins as a pocket passer. I don't think Jay Gruden really wants a mobile guy. So I just don't see I do see Kirk Cousins in a Washington uniform next season. It's up in the air as to how he's going to be as the guy from week 1 forward. The Washington Redskins have bigger issues to fry on defense, though, frankly, and they got to get some talent there. Plus, I heard someone say earlier about burning a pick on a quarterback. They burned 3 on RG3. I mean, they traded away, what was it, 2 or 3 1s and a 2. So,
but
at this point, if they wanted to be really bold, they would try to sign and trade Cousins and see what they can get for him. But I don't see them going in that route because I don't see them going back to RG3.
But this is just my opinion. God forbid RG3 signs with the Cowboys, which I'm happy if he does, and Romo goes down, and he leads the team to a good season. And Kirk Cousins gets retained, and he has a bad year. Gruden will be fired for his reason. And just my opinion, last year, same show we did this. Remember I don't know if you guys remember, we had the interview with Jay Gruden disrespecting RG3 right after the football game. I mean, right next to him. He never gave RG3 a shot. Never did. Well, Shanahan.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Shanahan never liked RG3. He never wanted to draft him. So the way I see it is, RG3 had a bad way in Washington from 2 head coaches who never gave him a shot. Regardless of what we was hearing about, what was going on in the locker room or whatever, on the field, he never got the full opportunity to really do his thing. Now, with Kirk Cousins here, okay, with Kirk Cousins, I understand. Don't get me wrong. I like Cousins. I think he's a good quarterback.
You like
out of
that?
Michigan State. I like that. I like that. But like Bells and Josh says, when you haven't beaten a winning team, it's scary. I think this beating the Green Bay Packers would have been something. Okay, you know what? He deserves to be signed. But you look horrible. You look bad. So,
sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, you're gonna have to retain him. But see, now here's the thing: is RG3 is Kirk Cousins' agent gonna want to say, you know what? I want to get paid because you know how March is. When you're a free agent, you get overpriced, and quarterbacks is over, I think, $12 million per year. So if you get franchised, you give them $12 million for 1 year. Anything after that is going to be about 60, 80 mil. So that's a lot of money.
Now I have to kind of agree with Tim. I think RG3 would probably be better on the Cowboys because he will probably have a better discipline on the Cowboys. But the problem is, I see with RG3 is one, he does not mix well with his teammates. I mean, when your old line doesn't care about you and allow you to get sacked, that's a problem. And you can say the team is fault for letting it happen to him, but yet if it's a two-way street, he does not work well with teams. 2, he act like he's Superman sometimes. Like in early of his career, he's running the ball into the defense when you're supposed to be sliding. It's like, dude, you're a quarterback. Why are you constantly pitting yourself in harm's way? He is not too smart, and I don't think the Redskins discipline him properly enough. And it's not surprising he's in this predicament nowadays. His organization is not grooming him properly. He has this huge ego. His head is too big. He's not facing reality, and that's why he's facing this uphill battle, to retain his, starting position.
John, I just want to say something. I want to hear what Kendra's got to say, but to your first point about him not getting along with his teammates, in all fairness to RG3, that's not his fault. That's Dan Snyder's fault. From the minute he got there, Dan Snyder treated him like a god before he even took a snap in the league. He would come down to practices just to talk to RG3 and wouldn't talk to anybody else. Dan
Snyder's
a fool. Dan Snyder created that ego that RG3 has, and that's why his teammates and his coach turned on him, and he really never had a fair chance after that.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And not only that, Bells, and not only that, when was the last time an NFL team drafted a quarterback in the first round and in the third round? Daniel Snyder told Shanahan, you're going to take RG3 when Shanahan wanted Ryan Tannehill. And when he took RG3 and he picked Kirk Cousin in the third round, I was like, what's that about? And he says, you want to have a backup quarterback. No. And then on top of that, going with Superman now, as all remember, Shanahan got mad at RG3 when he wanted to give up the season. And RG3 was like, no, we're gonna win these games. And what he did, he led the team to the playoffs. That's his rookie year. So, I mean, I like the leadership from what I know, but like Bells is correct. He was basically treated the way Arthur Moon was treating Michael Vick. Remember the wheelchair? Pushing him out of the stadium in the wheelchair?
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank, excuse me. Arthur Moon.
Hey, that also feeds to my point that the organization did not train him properly.
No, that's correct.
So I think he'd be much better in the Cowboys. I think he would be much better in the Cowboys.
I think he should go wherever Chip goes.
All right, there's another game we have to talk about, Tim.
The Houston Texans. 30-0 against the Chiefs. 30-0 against the Chiefs. What would you do? What would you do for the Chiefs? For the Houston Texans, if you're the GM?
You gotta find some offense. Like, you can't be sticking J.J. Watt in, though he has successfully caught touchdowns or whatever. But you can't do that. Like, let him play defense and go find a real offense.
I'll tell you the problem in Houston. The problem in Houston is it's run by J.J. Watt. Somebody needs to sit that man down and say, listen, you're going to play defense, and that's all you're going to do. Then they need to go out and find a quarterback because Brian Hoyer ain't the answer. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Brian Hoyer. And they need an offensive line, and they need a running back that can stay healthy. Arian Foster is a savage. I love that dude. I love everything about him. I love his character. He's a great father. He's a great dude, but his knees ain't great. His legs ain't great. He's broken, man. And it's a shame because he's so talented. The defense is good. It can be really good at times. Guys on that team that have a problem staying healthy on the defensive side, too. Brian Cushing being one of them. Jadeveon Clowney, another one. And that guy is kind of a clown, but that's besides the point. I think it's a team that got lucky. They were in a division that was as bad as it was. They're not a playoff team. They have a lot of warts and a lot of things to fix, and I think it starts with the quarterback position and then goes from there. They got Hopkins, who's an absolute monster. Other than that, I think they need a lot of improvements.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic looking at their wide receiver corps besides Hopkins. I mean, Nate Washington just recycled pretty much depth on that team, and then they have Jalen Strong, who they thought had a lot of potential. But for those that actually watch, Hard Knocks, he was missing a lot of stuff in practice, and they had a lot more of a decline in hope for the kid than they originally thought. So that didn't really pan out well.
He's up on the Sun Devils, man. That's my boys.
So hopefully he can pan around, hopefully have a nice sophomore season coming up, but they definitely need another active wide receiver. QB's huge. I'm surprised they even made the playoffs, but like Bell said, that's a more testament than the division they play in of making the playoffs.
Wasn't Cecil Shorts on their team too?
I was a big fan of his when he was on the Jaguars, and it felt like he disappeared too when he went to Houston. I actually drafted him as like a quote-unquote sleeper in some fantasies, in like a late rounds, and he was a disappointment too. But that's more, I think, also on the carousel they had between Hoyer, Mallett, and then they brought, late in the season, C.J. Yates, whatever his name is. But it's just, they got a lot of work to do. The defense really did win them most of their games this season, to be honest, and, of course, DeAndre. But, that's another sad situation with Foster. Like Bill said, he can't stay healthy anymore. He used to be a beast 5, 6, 7 years ago, but now he's just only playing 6 to 8 games a season, it seems. So they have quite a few holes to fix.
But so let me ask you guys this: we have the offseason coming up. You got RG3's gonna be a free agent. We know Manziel. We don't know if they're gonna cut him or they're gonna trade him or what's gonna happen with him. But you may have guys like You could trade for guys like A.J. McCarron, maybe. We saw what he did in the playoffs. Pretty good game. Who would you go after? As a big hope, would you draft a quarterback, or would you try to trade for a quarterback? Or would you go for RG3?
Well, the fans in Houston will go. Nuts for Johnny Manziel. I mean, he played College Station, which is just down the street, Texas A&M. But if I'm not mistaken, Baylor's a Texas school as well. I mean, they would love him there too. I mean, anything's better than Brian Hoyer.
Anything.
Yeah, see, the Manziel thing with the Texans makes me scratch my head because I know Bill O'Brien takes no BS. So I don't know if he would probably say, nope, not happening. Nope, get it off my table. No way.
Maybe he could get it and give him a babysitter.
Well, you know what? I'll say A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron, I think, will be an option because he's coming up, I think, 2 more years left. And try to give him a third-round pick maybe for him to see how he would do. I don't think he'll be too bad. I could say, let's see what happened with Detroit Lions. They're talking about cleaning house all season. If Stafford becomes available, he's a good veteran quarterback to have around. I mean, the Texans got a problem. And from what they say about the NFL draft coming up, these quarterbacks are not even worth first-rounders. You know what I'm saying? You don't have guys like Andrew Luck who's coming out with the hype of RG3. Yeah. So
maybe they can go get Phillips since he don't want to be in L.A.
Oh well, yeah. Listen. And he has said that he does not want to move his family to LA. So Phillip Rivers is there now. For Phillip Rivers, I mean, let's keep it real. That's easily a second-round pick, right there. And he's a solid quarterback. Because we use, and on top of that, Jadeveon Clowney, was that a waste? I mean, should they trade him or give him another year? I mean, this guy's cooking a good paycheck.
The jury's out yet. I mean, the kid can play, but he's another guy who could use a babysitter. Maybe they can hire like one of his bodyguards, and it can follow Manziel around.
They can have him in the same house and have a house man.
Well, let me ask you this, Sean. We got enough time, sir? I want to ask the Giants fans.
Well, we do have a little time, but I have a good babysitter. I think Tyrone could be a good babysitter. I want to ask the Giants fans these questions. This popped up that McAdoo might be the head coach of the New York Giants. How do you guys feel about that, Bells and Sean and Josh?
I think it was McAdoo's job from the minute that he was forced on Coughlin by Jerry Reese and Mara and whoever else was on board with hiring McAdoo. When Coughlin won 2 Super Bowls with Kevin Gilbride's offense, Kevin Gilbride's his guy, and the minute that you fired Kevin Gilbride or made him retire, like they just did with Tom, even though he didn't retire, and forced Ben McAdoo on him, that created a dysfunction within the organization, and it told me that it was always going to be McAdoo's job the second that Coughlin was let go. So I've known this for years. So this is no surprise to me.
Yeah, especially when Eli's 35 years old. He's been in that West Coast offense for 2 seasons now. You're not going to take him right back out of a system and put him in a new one like a kid moving around in different neighborhoods, going to different schools. Keep him in the system he's in. I'm hearing Joe Philbin's probably going to be our offensive coordinator now. It sounds like we're having a little mini New York Packers revival from 2011 over here. So who knows how that'll work out. I haven't really delved into too much of Joe Philbin's career or his resume, other than that he was the head coach of the Dolphins. But time will tell.
Well, here's the thing. With Joe Philbin, what's funny is, and I'm a fan of Hard Knocks football when the cameras are on you. And I didn't think it was fair the way he handled Chad Johnson and the other players. This man didn't even talk to this guy man to man, eye to eye. It was like he just looked at him one time, I don't like him. And so, and again, I'm not going to say his name on the show because I'm forbidden. He is the Voldemort, Voldemort from Harry Potter of the NFL. Number 13 on the New York Giants with the blonde streaks in his hair. It's going to be crazy with Philbin. If he's the offensive coordinator and you got to deal with that player. Not saying he's a bad player, but he has a little bit of the character. Not saying it's disrespectful, but it's going to be crazy how he deals with them. If they go have any ins and outs, and that's going to be bad.
Right now about Phil.
We got
not set in stone.
All right, last thoughts, Scoop, because we got to run to the last down quick.
Yeah, I don't really hear anybody who's a Cowboys fan question Odell's character because he never hit his mom.
Oh, no. Hey!
Ooh.
You know what? He didn't hit his... Damn, Bells.
Shot.
That was love. Bell, that was love. See, they do that in Texas, man.
What?
They do that in Texas, man. Hey, mom.
What?
Pat. No, he didn't hit his mom.
Tim, you want to recall that, maybe? I don't know.
Tim,
If you
It
want
was
to
love time. It was love time. Love.
He hit his mom so hard that his hand was still swollen the next week when they played the Giants, which is why his fingertips hit the back of the end zone in the touchdown catch, and it was ruled out of bounds, and the Giants won the game.
Big old pinky.
See,
Three times the size.
I'm letting you guys know, 2-minute warning right now. Sarcastic Bells is back. That's it right there. You gotta watch what you say because he's gonna get you right back with something. I got to deal with Johnson and Bells now.
Food so good, make you want to slap your mama.
Oh man!
We seriously missed you. Anyways, guys, we'll take the final down. We'll be right back.